Hello friends, how are you doing today? So today I'm going to share a new project with you for this week, and actually it's related to this add-on for Google Sheet. It's called Copydown. It looks like this add-on is used for a lot of users, and it's kind of popular. I just known this add-on a few days ago, and I start to made a replication of this add-on with app script in the Google Sheet. I just did it maybe yesterday, so I'd like to share the code with you. And so it's just for learning purpose. So if you are interested, I think this add-on is free, so you can add it to your Google Sheet very easily. But if you like to know how you can do it in AppScript, I'm sharing this video with you so you can check it out. Okay, so there is an overview and description for the functionality of this add-on, so you can read it here. But basically, let me explain this to you. I think I didn't read all of this stuff, and I think the the core function of this add-on is to let's say you have a form and you have some input from a form, and you'd like to add some extra informations. You add some formulas in your spreadsheet to do some calculation or combination of the form input. Like if you have a first name and the last name from a form, and if you like to get a full name for this input, you can use a formula in the spreadsheet to concatenate them as a full name, just something like this. So for the headers, for the columns in this blue color, we have a formulas in this row 2, and this copy down function add-on, we are going to make a copy of this formula to the next row. So if there is any new submission, let's say we have a submission in row 3, and for the Google form, they're going to add a new data in row 3 from column A to column E, and for column F to H, the copy down function add-on, we're going to copy the formulas in row 2 to row 3. So this is basically the major the core function of this add-on. Okay, I think that's very easy to understand, and very handy, I think, in this way. So let me show you my project here. So it's just, as you can see, I have a menu here called Copy Down, and if you click this open button, I'm going to open this sidebar here. All right, it's going to load the page, and it's going to also write some descriptions here for this add-on. So basically, you need to choose a spreadsheet. So by default, it will be the active spreadsheet in this dropdown. Since here I only have one spreadsheet, so that I only have one option here. So this is the first step you need to do. You need to choose a spreadsheet. Actually, is the spreadsheet linked to your Google form. Okay, and once you selected the spreadsheet, the script, we're going to check if there are any formulas in your spreadsheet. So here I have 3 formulas columns, F, G, and H, and as you can see here, I have 3 rows in this table for each header, and as you can see here, this is a formula in this in the row 2 for this header. All right, and you can decide if you want to copy the values only, because by default you're going to copy these formulas to next row. Okay, so if you click this, they will only copy the value, not the formula. Okay, for the new submissions. All right, and the status here is not saved. if it's the first time you didn't save it, you will see a message like this: formula is not saved to the script. Actually, the script properties at the backend. So you need to save the formulas to there. So in my project, I choose you to use the formulas in that script properties. So once you save them, you actually don't need to have these formulas anymore. Okay. So let's try to save it. So I choose to copy the values for the full name and the young old formulas here. So let's save it. So now the formula are saved. So if you reopen this, and I think you should have the favorite data. As you can see here, copy at the value. So for the full name and the young and old. So let's try to run test here. Okay, let's try to do a submission from the form. Okay, this spreadsheet must link to a Google form. I didn't say that at the beginning. All right, so this is a form which is linked to this Google Sheet. Okay, so if you can see here, I have email, first name, last name, age, and this is email, first name, last name, age. All right, so let's try to add email, test, Gmail, and add my name here, first name, last name, age, let's put 66, old man, submit. All right, if you go back to the spreadsheet, as you can see here, I have this input from the Google form, and this is added by the add-on, this Copydown add-on itself. Since for the full name and this young old column, I copy them as values, so there is no formulas here, no formulas here, and for the last one, you can see these formulas. I need to delete this one because I didn't delete it. I think I did some test. So basically, you need to delete this line if you are doing some test or you have a blank line, just like what I did. Okay, not clear the content. You need to delete the line. All right. So basically, you can add more formulas as you like. So let's do a formula like what? Maybe subject. Right, let's do a subject, and let's try to put a formula here. Let's do what? Let's do a lowercase. Maybe email with lowercase. Okay, let's to make sure the email address is inputted as a lowercase. So let's use a lower and the email. All right, a formula like this. And once you did some update in your spreadsheet, you can use this. I think you can use this refresh to refresh the changes in this spreadsheet. And now you have four formulas in this sidebar, and you need to do this again because it's going to reset all of this copy as value parameters. So by default, it will be copied as formula, so they're unchecked. All right, so let's save it. So now you have this new formulas added, and you can try to submit another test. This time let's do a capitalized test at Gmail. Ashton 30 this time. All right, let's go back to the spreadsheet. And you can see here, so first one, no formula, values only, formula, and formula. All right. So basically, I think that's all the core functions of this add-on, and I think that's all, maybe all of this add-on I'd like to share with you. So it's only built for the learning purpose. So if you are interested in, you can check the code, of course, and you can make a copy of this file, and you should have a copy of the script in the tools script editor. All right, and you also can get it from this GitHub repository. So it's in branch 66. All right. And you also can make a copy from this link here. All right, so all the code that here, you can check it out. All right, not a lot of code here. So basically, let me explain the idea. I did this project with you. So basically, I'm saving the properties. As you can see here, I'm saving the formulas and the sheet name to the script properties. So once we have a new submission from the Google form, we're going to trigger a function in these triggers, okay? So once there is any new submission from a Google form, the trigger function will be called. And this, you can see here, I have a trigger here to run this onForm submit function. So if there are any new submissions, so this function will be called. So in this function onForm submit, we're going to get the data. All right, we are going to retrieve the data from here. We're going to retrieve the formulas and the sheet names, so we know which spreadsheet we're working on. Okay, so basically we're going to go through each of them. As you can see here, we have a formula object here. For each formula, you're going to have a formula and you also have a column. All right, so this is a column. You have a column and you find the last row of the spreadsheet. So for each formula, you will have a column. So you're going to have a row and have a column, so you can locate which cell you need to update. All right. So we find the formula, we have the column, and we have this copy as a value or not. All right. So we got the last row, right? So now we can locate the cell here. We get the cell by the last row and the column of this formula. And we set the formula to this cell. Okay, so this is the first step. So if we want to copy this as value, we're going to set the value. All right, so set the value of the cell itself to this cell. So this is going to override the formula. All right, so this is the core functionality of this script. And the other stuff is related to this add-on. Okay, so it's basically the other stuff is used to build this add-on, the user interface here, right? So this is not related to the core functionality of this add-on. So if you'd like to build something like this, you can go through this a little bit. So the core part is here. So if you don't need to have this user interface, I think this is only stuff you need, just a few lines of code. And you don't need to have other stuff like this sidebar HTML for this user interface. Okay, so there is make it a little bit complicated. All right. So if you'd like to build add-on, you can check it out. So if you are only focused on this functionality of this add-on, you can check it here. So actually, you don't even need to save the formulas here. All right. You can get the formulas directly from your spreadsheet as a database here. So you can always reference to the row 2. So if this is a formula, you can copy the formulas from there as well. All right. So it just depends on how you want to build your project. All right. So I think that's it for today's video, and have a very great weekend, you guys. See you next time. Bye bye.